Everybody. So I have a question that was asked by one of my subscribers. He asked me for advice on how to go about um, getting back into the relationship scene when his ex was perpetrating the gang stalking, and he find it difficult to get back into the dating scene, and he's having trust issues and difficult for him to communicate with the opposite sex in general. I kind of went through something like this with my previous relationship, and it was just up and down, lasted for a couple of years of just can't deal with it, kept trying to break off the relationship, but then kind of let the other person back in. So it was just iffy-washy. It wasn't very decisive. We weren't being what mature adults would do, which is, if it's not working out, you just lay it out, you talk about it, and as two adults, if it's obviously not working, then it should be easy to decide on going our separate way. But it wasn't like that in my previous relationship. It was just like our mind was just not processing the information. We were arguing all the time. There was definitely a trust issue, and our feelings were just, I guess, wasn't the same as what we were thinking. So in my mind, I was having really negative thoughts about her. But when I stopped talking to her, I calmed down, and then I started to think about wondering if she's okay, or I would have these feeling like, oh, kind of missing her in a way. But obviously the negative thought, it was just too overwhelming and overpowering, and we couldn't make it work. After we broken up, and there was maybe months, I can't remember how long, but there were months and months and months, I was just by myself, and I would notice I would have these episodes. And what these episodes were was, for instance, I would be driving to work, and as I'm driving, all of a sudden I'll receive a negative thought, something about the previous relationship and what I really didn't like about her, which involved cheating or things like that. At the time, I didn't know those thoughts were induced by the gang stalkers, so I was falling a victim of it. So as I'm driving, and the gang stalker would send me these cheating thoughts of my ex, and at the time I didn't know how to block these thoughts, because I thought these thoughts were mine. You see what I'm saying? So as I'm driving, I was getting these thoughts, and what I did was I received the thought, and then I would continue thinking on the thought and expanding on the thought, and I could be thinking about it for who knows how long, for the next hour, for 30 minutes, who knows. And as I'm thinking about it, the more I think about it, I started to feel like, oh, I want to do something about it. I feel like she just messed me over. I feel like I need to do something, like scream at her or yell at her. Or I need her to know what she did was wrong, and it really, really hurt me. And there were times where I'm just driving, so I'm thinking these negative thoughts where I just can't take it anymore. I would just pick up my phone and call her. If she doesn't pick up, I'll keep calling until she picks up. As soon as she picks up, and this is early because I go to work really early, so she picks up, she just still in bed, she just woke up, and I'll be screaming at her. Super pissed off. I'll be screaming, just bringing back up the old stuff, the stuff that was just in the past, been talked through hundreds of hours, and it's still making me just want to scream at her on the phone it was just the same repetitive, negative situations. And what really helped me get over my ex was what I learned in philosophy back in college. And I also took a improving relationship through communication. It's one of those specialty classes that I part of the communication studies program. And that class and the philosophy combined together really helped me because it made me realize that I shouldn't think negative of her anymore. Everything already happened. It happened in the past. Now it's all about moving forward in life. And if I'm going to be moving forward in life, one thing I learned growing up is try to be humble, try to be nice to people. You know, there's karma. You don't want to wish bad upon someone, and because that negativity could come back into your life later on. It's karma. So if I'm going to be moving forward in life, and I want to be humble and I want to not mess with karma, then in my mind I need to convince myself I want her to be happy. As I'm moving forward, I want my ex-girlfriend to find someone that would treat her very nice, that would love her, and be the boyfriend that I was not. Because I was really mean to her. I was a terrible person to her. Now that I know what's going on in my life with the gang stalking, she's been innocent the whole time. Well, I wouldn't say 100% innocent, but I was over the top when it comes to attitude and the way I treated her. So once I put that thought, that understanding into my mind, that I want her to have a good life moving forward, I want her to meet someone that loves her, that treats her nice, and I want her to be happy. Once that thought settled into my mind, I made peace with myself. I made peace with my own heart. Just that knowledge of being humble and just want her to be a happy person moving forward in her life. And it's like a clean way of saying goodbye. So I put all the negative thoughts and all the negativity inside, that was kept inside for years, I buried it. I planted some flowers on it. That was so powerful. That thought, eventually just made me feel it's time to move forward. It's time to let those negative thoughts of the past go. And I did. The reason you have trust issue is because of all the negative events that happened in your previous relationship. And if you're no longer with that person, then move forward in life. I know there are a lot of TIs out there who doesn't understand this idea that, or not TI, just a lot of people in the world in general, they don't understand this idea that don't live in the past. Because here's the thing, when you're living in the past, it's only in your mind. Your physical body is actually in the present, and you're moving forward in the physical, moving forward in time, but then your mind is living in the past. So your mind and your body is not on the same page. I'm not saying with everything you're not on the same page, but I'm just saying when it comes to this specific relationship related experience, that your mind and your body is not together. And that's how the gang stalker mess with you, because they know that's your weakness. And if you don't make peace with that, the gang stalker can use that against you anytime they want. You could be sitting there laughing with a bunch of friends and family, and next thing you know, they beam that thought into your mind, and all of a sudden, when you were just happy a couple seconds ago, now you're like, start thinking about all the negativity, all the terrible experience you had in the past, and now all of a sudden you're not happy no more. That's what I meant when I teach you guys no fear mentality. Because in a way, if you still dwell on the past, especially when it's one of your weakness, because you can't get over it, that's, you're holding on to it, that's a weakness. You haven't made peace with yourself. And that is a weapon that gang stalkers can use against you. It's like, it'll always be there. It's like one of their go-to weapons, because they know you'll break down. They know you don't know how to deal with it. They know you can't handle it. And they know it will suck out any happiness you have. There's some gang stalkers out there who are just so evil. They'll make the person, the TI, think about it all day long. Every day. For years and years and years and decades. Yeah. There are gang stalkers out there like that. Evil. They are less than dog poop. Yeah, I said it. I said it to all you evil gang stalkers out there. You are less than dog poop. I got 2 German shepherds, and they poop a lot. You gang stalkers out there, you are less than the dog poop. Same goes for my gang stalkers. So you have to find a way to make peace and bury all the negative thoughts. And the best way to do that is be humble and just wish the other person, or hope for the best for your ex-partner. Whatever happened, just think positive. You're still alive. It wasn't going to work anyways, so it's good that it's over, and now you can move forward and find someone new. You have to find someone new. And when you put yourself out there into the dating scene, there will be moments and you will actually get thoughts of your ex. Whenever you get those thoughts, just remember to tell yourself, I hope she's happy right now. I hope she found someone that's good to her. I hope she found someone that loves her. Just tell yourself that. And I promise you, you're going to stop thinking about her or him. And it's a great way to stop thinking about them. A good note. It's good karma you're sending out. Hoping your ex-partner is happy with somebody else that's loving and good to him or her. Do that and give it some time. Maybe a few months. Depends on how often you go back out to date. And how fast you meet that person that you really see the potential to be with for the rest of your life. That's how I let the past go. And it worked for me. And I don't see why it wouldn't work for you. You have to decide. The past only lives in your mind. And if it's a negative thought, you don't want it there. Because any negative thoughts in your mind, it's a tool for the gang stalkers. Yeah. That's why no fear mentality is over 50% of the battle. Now, these gang stalkers are in the physical. And soon I will teach you guys how to clap on these gang stalkers, how to slap these gang stalkers. That will come after video 35 of my True Truth for Gang Stalking series. So video 35, I'm gonna tell you guys who the gang stalkers are. And somewhere from 36 to 39, I'm gonna teach you how to slap these gang stalkers a little bit. And the finale, the video number 40, I will show you the faces of the gang stalkers. No fear. You're in the driver's seat. Just remember who helped you. Hong signing out.